श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे नामचिन्तामणि कृष्णश्चैतन्य रसविग्रह पूर्णशुद्धो नित्यमुक्तो अभिन्नत्वं नाम नामिनो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवात्सादिकार भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवतिर्नैष्टिकी. Glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam by Sanatana Goswami. सर्वशास्त्राभिपीयूष सर्ववेदैकसत्फला सर्वसिद्धान्तरत्नाद्य सर्वलोकैकदिक्प्रदा सर्वभागवत प्राणा श्रीमद्भागवत प्रभो कलिद्वन्द्वोदित्तदित्या श्रीकृष्णा परिवर्तिता परमानन्दपाठाय प्रेमवर्षि अक्षराय ते सर्वदा सर्वसेव्याय श्रीकृष्णाय नमोऽस्तु मे मदेकबन्धु मत्सङ्गिन् मद्गुरु मन्महादना मन्निष्ठारक मद्भाग्या मदानन्द नमोऽस्तु ते असाधु साधु तादायिन्नति नीचोचिताकर आनमुञ्चा कदाचिन्मां प्रेम्ण हृत्कण्ठयो स्फुरा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, according to our schedule, today is Purna Nandini Mataji's turn, Mataji.
Purna Nandini Mataji is there?
Yes, Mataji.
Then let her take Mataji. Because I thought
Okay.
in the speaker there was, okay, she can definitely take. Hari Bol, thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. I was a little
Hare
confused.
Krishna,
Pranam Mataji. Very well.
I was a little confused, so I was wondering.
No, I thought since you were not available in the group, I thought like that. Maybe there was no problem, Mataji. You can please go ahead. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah. Okay, since the prayers are done, thank you for the prayers, Mataji. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातम् अहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं हरिः ओं तत्सत् Hare Krishna. Welcoming all of you for today's Srimad Bhagavatam session. We're in Canto 5, Chapter 1, the activities of Maharaj Priyavrata. And indeed, a very auspicious day for me because I am in association of devotees. And on Amalaki Ekadashi, so it's indeed my great fortune to have an opportunity to share a few words about the Supreme Lord and his Supreme devotees. Two Supreme devotees, Hare Krishna. So 5:117. Do we have devotees to read the shloka and translation?
Krishna Mataji, I'll be. Okay, Shobha Mataji, you can read the. Yeah, you can read the shloka and the translation, and Shobita Krishna Kanta Mataji can read the purport. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा दंडवत प्रणाम माताजी and Prabhuji Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Text number 5.1.17 Bhavyam pramattasya vanes api syat yatsa aste sahasat sapatnaha jitendriyasyatma rathet buddhasya grihashramah kim nu karoti avadyam. Translation by His Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Even if he goes from forest to forest, one who is not self-controlled must always fear material bondage because he is living with 6 co-wives, the mind and knowledge, acquiring senses. Even householder's life, however, cannot harm a self-satisfied, learned man who has conquered his senses. Hari Bol Dandavats Mataji, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta
Hare
Srila
Krishna.
Prabhupada.
I don't think we are reading. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I don't think we are reading the purport. Do we get time to read the purports? We are four. Are we reading the purports?
Your call,
Mataji's,
Mataji. Your call.
Okay. I don't think so.
Okay,
We'll have
Mataji, no
time.
problem. Yeah, no problem. So, shall I go to the next shloka or we'll wait?
No, some explanation for
Okay,
this
Mataji.
or
Okay, Mataji.
no? I mean, that was the usual way that was
Mataji, like
happening.
every speaker has a different this, so we got confused, Mataji. Sorry. We can continue, Mataji, the way you like.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So we are talking about the most important aspect of not just spiritual life, of life itself, controlling the senses. And 6 co-wives here it is saying that is even if we see in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Manashasthani Indriyani Prakritistani Karshati 15:7. Mamai Vamsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana Manashasthani Indriyani Prakritistani Karshati. Right? Karshati there, it says very difficult to control. So, and we see here now in the present world scenario how the whole world is suffering because of uncontrolled mind and senses. And it is, and it's not everybody's cup of tea to sit and meditate and to control the mind, right? To control means then meditation is what most of people recommend. But how is it possible? Sitting itself, if we see the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, sitting in the posture that Krishna recommends itself is not possible. Many of us are not even able to sit on the floor. And then it also says if you have to meditate, go to the forest, then you should not be scared of the animals there, the wild animals, the snakes and the scorpions that are going to come, etc., etc. So does that mean that we don't have a solution? No. There's nothing like there is no solution for any problem. Like how His Grace Gaur Gopal Das Prabhu says, why will there be a lock without a key being made? Right? So the solution here is more practical for Kali Yuga. What is that? Devotional service. Now, we otherwise also do service in the sense, doing any work is service itself, right? So what is the difference between devotional service and regular service, right? The regular service can agitate our mind more, without being aware, without us being aware itself, right? Whereas devotional service, what does it do? We do our work like any other service, we do our work. But then in the process, what happens? It uproots the anarthas from our heart. So uprooting the anarthas from our heart means that the tendency to do unwanted things, or which is against the scriptures, is uprooted. And it can be uprooted at once or gradually. And that depends on what? On our surrender. Ye yathamam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajamiham. It says, how you surrender, that is how I reveal to you, Krishna says. So what is the revelation? That I am not this, I am not the controller. Basic revelation is I am not the controller. Many examples are there in the scriptures about how devotional service uproots our anarthas, deep-rooted anarthas for millions of lifetimes that we have gone through. So one powerful and quick example that we can think of now that God Purnima is coming around on Tuesday and Wednesday, we have Jagan Mishra feast, right? We can think of the prostitute who came to lure Haridas Thakur. And what did Haridas Thakur do? He just chanted. He just continued his devotional service. He said, okay. He did not even reject her. He did not say, no, how can you talk to me like this? I'm chanting. Nothing. What is her? Laksha Hira. That is her name. She is supposed to be the most lucrative prostitute during that time, or most beautiful, was sent by Khan to distract Haridas Thakur. And what did Haridas Thakur do? He just continued his service, devotional service. Chanting is also devotional, part of devotional service. And just, not just, just by Shravanam, just by listening to Haridas Thakur, two things. One is Harinam and a pure devotee, and an exalted devotee, association of a pure devotee, and hearing Harinam from his mouth. What happened in 3 days? In just 3 days, okay? 3 days, she becomes a devotee. She falls at the feet of Haridas Thakur, begging his forgiveness. So you see the power of devotional service. So if we follow whatever process Srila Prabhupada has given, engage ourselves in devotional service from morning to evening, according to our capacities, then we can see how much of purification will happen, right? So whereas meditation, although it is not, scriptures don't rule out of the possibility of purification, it is very difficult. I heard somewhere that in Kali Yuga, if for 4 minutes, if we are able to concentrate without our mind being deviated, it's a big achievement in Kali Yuga. Right? So we all have experience how much we try to put our minds on the name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. And then we have to put our mind just on that syllable. And at least my experience is, yes, I have to concentrate on this particular mantra. I'm chanting Hare Krishna, and by the time I come to Krishna, I don't know where I am, where my mind is, right? That is how powerful the mind is, right? So this aspect of devotional service, engaging in offering bhoga, then deity services like dressing up the deities, abhishekam, and all that is given, so that eventually all those things will purify us to ultimately chant well. Srila Prabhupada, when asked, once said, what is the purpose of all this reading Bhagavatam, deity services, all other Vaishnavas have everything. Srila Prabhupada said is to chant unoffensively. That is the goal of all our devotional service. And I forget who quoted. He said the best service that we can do to our spiritual master is to chant without offenses. Tall order, at least for me. So, devotional service is a more practical aspect of purifying us so that we can progress in our spiritual life. Right? We are doing our work, but then spiritualizing it. Right? We are cooking for our family members, we are serving them, we are eating them, eating prasadam, everything. So all aspects, whatever we do, yat karosi yat dasnasi, Krishna said. So that aspect Srila Prabhupada has put in a devotee's life, morning to night. Right? So that is about Shloka 17. Right? And then, of course, Srila Prabhupada quotes this shloka so often, Iha yasya karer dasya, from Srila Rupa Goswami, that what does it really mean to be Krishna conscious? Yes. Jivan Mukta Sauchyate. What does it mean? That we are using everything, every not thing, even whoever we are connected with, as much as possible in Krishna's service. So that is real devotional service. And of course, the example of the venomous serpent with this poisonous fang. So chanting devotional service removes those poisonous fangs of the snake, and so the senses become dormant. It no longer troubles us, right? So that is what this shloka is about. We'll go to shloka 18.
Shobita Mataji, you can read the shloka, and Archana Mataji, please read the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Yah shat sapatnan vijigneshamano graheshu nirvishya yateta purvam atyeti durga shrita urjitarin shineshu kamam vichared vipaschita. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Pranams Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One who is situated in household life and who systematically conquers his mind and 5 sense organs is like a king in his fortress who conquers his powerful enemies. After one has been trained in household life and his lusty desires have decreased, he can move anywhere without danger. Hare Krishna.
What a shloka, right? This is one who is even in household life, right, who has conquered his mind and five senses, is like a king in his fortress who conquers his powerful enemies, right? So even if we see Bhagavad Gita, time and again Krishna talks about, two things. One is getting above the dualities of the material nature, and the other one is the control of the senses. See, getting above the dualities of material nature itself is is an aspect of controlling one's senses. So one who is able to do that is like a king in a fortress who conquers his powerful enemies. Okay, so it's not necessary that one has to be a brahmachari, vanaprasthi, a sannyasi, or a grihastha. No matter what varna and ashrama one is, right? Sense control is the most important aspect, right? Then we see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Shikshashtakam, he says, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam, va jagadisham, mama janmani, janmani. He says, I don't want any of these things, followers, or Aishwarya, or, dhanam is wealth, fame, nothing of this. What is it that I want? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. He is representing a devotee. I mean, what is it to be a devotee? That is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is representing, because he comes as his own devotee, although he's the Lord himself. So he says, life after, he is not even aspiring for mukti, because he says, Mama Janmani Janmani, life after life. What is it that I want to be? I want to be the dasa of who? Gopi Vartupada Kamali, or dasa dasa anudasa. Want to be the servant of the servant of the servants. Right? So here Brahma is the series is that Brahma is instructing Maharaj Priyavrata. So why he's telling all this? Because the instruction is for Priyavrata to become a householder. I mean, what kind of a householder? A very dangerous situation. Not just a householder, to become the king of what? The whole universe, king of the universe. So Maharaj Priyavrata is very concerned because he had gone up to Gandhamadana Parvata, where he met Narada Muni, and he was happily meditating on Lord Krishna. But after Uttanapada, then Prachina Bharishit, and then Prachetas, there were no kings, eligible kings to rule the universe. So that is when Maharaj Priyavrata, see, it is not that people were not there to become kings, but Bhagavatam says, Srila Prabhupada in the purport says, there are no eligible people, not this purport, the previous ones, Mataji, so that's okay. Eligible person to become a king. And what is the eligibility? Eligibility is a devotee. Devotee means what? The sense control, right? So that is how Brahma approaches Priyavrata Maharaj to become a king and a grihastha to take care of the universe. And we see in the purports, Srila Prabhupada, of course, Bhagavatam says 50 years. One is 50 years. One has to start Vanaprastha at the age of 50 years or slightly more. So ideally, at 50, a person would have finished material duties. In the sense, the children have settled down, they are married and they are settled down. And so there is no business to do anything with the family samsara anymore. So actually, been reading this and wondering why 50, right? So after I touched 50, I was wondering why at 50? Then I realized, personally realized how difficult it is to control the senses. especially the eating habit, right? As one ages, the desire to eat only increases and not decrease. The desire to eat and anger goes on increasing. The other desires may kind of get subdued, but the tongue gets more stronger and stronger. So at 50, why 50? Then when it was one realization that, or one understanding, at 50, you keep on saying, you keep on contemplating on what you read. Why 50 years, Vanaprastha, now you have to detach yourself, right? And then, yeah, and the first detachment has to come from the tongue. Okay, so much so Srila Prabhupada tells even, and Bhagavatam says, eating over prasadam overtly also is sense gratification. It can be prasadam, but still, overeating prasadam also is sense gratification, Srila Prabhupada says. So, if one reaches 60, then it is going to become more difficult. So, we are so conditioned. So at 50, we start, somewhere down the lane. Maybe each of our conditioning, we may take some years to actually practice it. Right? I may decide, okay, I'm not going to eat sugar from now on. It doesn't happen. I mean, at least for me, it didn't happen tomorrow. It took years, right? So, but if we seriously at least have that intention of, wanting to be in that Vanaprastha stage of 50 years, if that intention is, the desire is intense and it is there, then the Lord, ye yatamam prapadyante, He keeps giving various ways through devotees, as the Chaitya Guru, as Paramatma from inside. He keeps giving various indications that you have desired something, you try to follow that. So, I mean, like how scriptures coming from the Lord cannot be, because I mean, I'm saying this because I was wondering why 50, then the training period to actually wean off training period, starts from 50. So, and after 50, every day is a bonus. Every day is a bonus, especially in Kali Yuga. Right? So we never know tomorrow what we are. I mean, at least I'm up or not up. So maximum we can train ourselves. So one aspect of that is control our tongue. The other aspect is to really give a mind about where our consciousness is. To keep a note of our consciousness. I may be reading Bhagavatam, I may be doing Bhagavatam class, I may be chanting, but my consciousness is where is the question. So we have to train ourselves to really be Krishna conscious, not children conscious, health conscious. All that is needed, but then if it is the end of my life, where is my mind? What is my mind thinking? I may be chanting Krishna, Hare Krishna, but then I may be chanting that let whoever be Krishna conscious. I'm thinking of some other person, even thinking of some other person to be Krishna conscious, and it is the end of my life. Then which is more powerful? Krishna's thoughts are more powerful, or I want somebody to be Krishna conscious is more powerful. Right? So that training also can happen. I mean, I am just giving that number between 50 to 60. That's how I looked at why 50 years. Because determination, and then what we could do earlier at younger age, everything kind of slows down with age. And then if we try to notice all this and apply what we are reading in Srimad Bhagavatam, then we are that much more safer as we are progressing in our lives, right? And so that's how sense control and is the main aspect. Prasadam itself, eating prasadam itself helps us, and being Ekadashi today also helps us in our sense control. And of course, the Lord's mercy through the parampara, right? So, in this shloka and the next shloka also, Prabhupada talks about starting, taking vanaprastha at the age of 50, right? So we increase our devotional service, increase our reading, our Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting, association, serving, wherever we are, serving Vaishnavas, serving the deities in the temple. So we have to increase all this aspect. We have to really make our human life successful, right? So we'll go to Shloka 19.
So Mangala Mataji, please read the shloka, and Sharmila Mataji can read the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you Mataji. Dandat pranams Mataji. Tvam tva abjana bhangri saroja kosha durga shrito nirjita shat saptana sapna bhunkve भुङ्क्ष्वेह भोगान् पुरुषातिदिष्टान् विमुक्तसङ्घा प्रकृतिं भजस्व. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Brahma continued, my dear Priyavrata, seek shelter inside the opening in the lotus of the feet of the Lord, whose navel is also like a lotus. Thus conquer the 6 sense organs, the mind and knowledge acquiring senses. Accept material enjoyment because the Lord extraordinarily has ordered you to do this. You will thus always be liberated from material association and be able to carry out the Lord's orders in your constitutional position. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam, is so dynamic, right? We were talking about sense control, vanaprastha, right? And detaching ourselves from the samsara. And then here, what is Brahma telling Priyavrata Maharaj? He had given up. I mean, he had absolutely no interest in the kingdom, becoming a king and all that. So much so that he left the kingdom and went. And what is Brahma saying? He says, you come back and then become a king. No, I said why Srimad Bhagavatam is so dynamic. If we take the example of Sanatana Goswami, right? Because when he was traveling, he was contaminated and he got some disease where his body was so diseased that he could not go near anybody, and he could not do any service, that his whole body was full of some pus and other things. So his thought was, Sanatana Goswami Pad's thought was, what is the use of this body where I cannot do any seva? Let me go to Jagannath Puri in Rath Yatra time, looking at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I will give up my life. I will end my life at the under the cart wheel of the Jagannath's cart. And so in that mood he comes. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu notices this, and then he says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastises him. And he's saying, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, what right do you have to, destroy others' property? Sanatana Goswami Pad is wondering what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. He says, you are mine. I mean, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling Sanatana Goswami Pad, you are mine. That means your mind, body, senses, everything is mine. So how can you think of destroying something that is not yours? So, and then of course Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which Sanatana Goswami Pad is running away, but still Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hugs him, and then his disease goes away. Right? So you may be wondering why I'm taking this example. The principle of Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Jana Paripasate Tesham Nityabhayuktanam Yoga Kshemam Pahamiham, Krishna says. So if we see the translation there, it says, I give you what you lack and I preserve what you have. So that Yoga Kshema actually, Yoga Kshema is, although in the purport, and then Krishna says is first, the yoga of the kshema of our spiritual practices is what Krishna takes care. He protects, he preserves our spiritual practices. But here we in this example, in this pastime, we saw how Krishna is also protecting the body of the devotee, right? So what is, now we'll come back to our present scenario. What is Maharaj Priyavrata's fear? That he will forget Krishna by becoming a king. And what is Brahma saying? Accept material enjoyment, because the Lord extraordinarily has ordered you to do this. You will thus always be liberated from material association and be able to carry out the Lord's order in your constitutional position. Right? And then in the purport, if we see, Srila Prabhupada points out at Abja Nabhangri Saroja. A little more up if you go, Mataji. Scroll it up. Yeah. And there, Srila Prabhupada very beautifully described, not up, I'm saying the purport. Yeah. After this, Mam. So, yeah. Prabhupada talks about the bumblebee. Is trying to take honey in the from the lotus. The petals are protecting the bumblebee from being, it's protecting when it is taking the honey. So this aspect of Abja Nabhangri Saroja, here the Lord is compared to the lotus, right? Lotus feet, lotus navel, lotus face, everything lotus. So Srila Prabhupada is saying like how the bumblebee is being protected. So when you, Brahma is telling Priyavrata Maharaj that you are at the lotus feet of the Lord. So why are you worried about being entangled in the material life? The Lord will protect you. Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam, Brahma is telling, right? And how? In your constitutional position. And what is the constitutional position? Jivara Swarupohai Krishna Nityadas. So here, this Leela is telling us, this aspect is telling us, it is not what I want. I want to be a sannyasi, even if I want to be a sannyasi, like Arjuna also. What did Arjuna say? I will go become a sannyasi. He says, fool, don't become a sannyasi. He says, you do your duty. You be a kshatriya. You are a kshatriya. How can you be a sannyasi? Same thing here also, Priyavrat Maharaj is a Kshatriya. Says you rule. But then I will tell you how to rule. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara yuddhecha. Right? In your battle, you will remember me. Not trying to run away from your duty. So your duty is as a Kshatriya is to fight. Your duty as a Kshatriya is to protect people, is to rule and protect people. So what does it mean to protect people? If we remember the fourth canto, Prithu Maharaj pastime, if we remember, what is the Prabhupada very clearly talks there about what is the main aspect of being a king. The main aspect of being a king is that first of all, he is a devotee, and then he protects, he sees to it that, Varnashrama is followed. Why Varnashrama is followed? So that everybody has enough and ample time by following Varnashrama. What is Varna? Following Varna, that one is doing their work as per their swabhava, as per their nature. Now, when they are doing their work as per their nature, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that it is better to do imperfect work in your own swabhava rather than perfect work in some other swabhava. So one is we are following the scriptures. The other thing is, we are not fighting against our nature. Fighting against our nature is stressful. And when it is stressful, then we are left with less energy and time for other things. So the king has to see to it that people are doing their duties as per their varna and ashrama. And then they have ample time for what? For Krishna consciousness. So, you see how wholesome Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita is. It is not ruling out our duties, but it is actually, showing the actual way to do our duty. So, irrespective of what ashrama and varna we are, Brahma is telling, if the Lord wants you to be a king, then how can you be worried about it? There's no question of worry. That means you have meditating on the Lord. That means you have not understood the aspect of what it is to meditate on the Lord. That means to please the Lord. So the Lord will be pleased by you becoming a king. And becoming a king means what? You are helping others. What is the topmost service anybody can do? The topmost service anybody can do is to make others Krishna conscious. So you being such a, Raja Rishi. What is Raja Rishi? That you are a king who is a devotee, and you will rule in such a way that all the citizens are also going to be devotees. So what more is needed is the kind of saranch or gist of what is being told by Brahma to Priyavat Maharaj and in the purport, right? So then Prabhupada says a devotee sometimes appears to be very opulent position, but he accepts the position to follow the orders of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Pundarik Vidyanidhi, another amazing example, right? So much so that who got bewildered? The Panchtattva.
Gadadhar Pandit.
Gadadhar Pandit, yeah. So Gadadhar Pandit himself was bewildered by Pundarik Vidyanidhi, and then after the sloka Aham Bakiya, that sloka was, and then they saw how Pundarik Vidyanidhi went into ecstasy. He became his devotee. So you see the dynamism of spirituality, and then people think it is so monotonous and boring. There can be nothing more interesting than spirituality, devotees, and devotees' pastime. So before we go to the last shloka, we will read to people, one can read the shloka that Srila Prabhupada has very nicely quoted from Chaitanya Charitamrita and the translation. It's very amazing to hear this. Yes. Who
Yeah.
wants to
Vardhani
read?
Mataji, you can read the shloka, I'll read the translation. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams. Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna.
প্রভু না বোধিবে তোমার বিষয় তরঙ্গ পুনরপি এই ঠাই পাবে মর সঙ্গ হরে কৃষ্ণ মাতাজি দণ্ডবত প্রণাম
Yeah. Divya Mataji, you can read the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji. A sincere devotee who engages in the service of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by preaching his cult all over the world will never be affected by Vishaya Taranga material influences. On the contrary, in due course of time, he will return to the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and will thus have perpetual association with him. Hare Krishna Mataji Dandavat.
Hare Krishna. Gauranga. So you see, sincere devotee and then how he is protected from Vishaya Taranga, material influences, right? So, I mean, even, even small services we are doing of preaching, and then this is the assurances given by the Lord himself and the devotees, then what to talk of devotee like Priyavrata and what lineage he comes from, right? And then before we go to the last shloka, I want to read the importance of what it is to have devotional service. I mean, like how rare it is. Now, Priyavrat Maharaj has been given devotional service. So we also many a times are given devotional service in various ways, in different ways. It can be a minutest of things of devotional service, but how durlabha it is, right? This is from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, 2 shlokas. I read the shloka and the translation. Sudurlabha, right? It says, Sadhanughair anasa asanghair alabhya suchirad api harina cha asvedya dvidha sa syat sudurlabha. English translation. Bhakti is rarely attained. Bhakti is difficult to attain in 2 ways. If undertaken in great quantity but without attachment, asakti, bhakti cannot be attained even after a long time. And even if practiced with attachment, Krishna does not give bhakti to the practitioner immediately. Okay, so this is one shloka. Then the next shloka. This is from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, 1:35 and 36, right? The 36th shloka goes, Tatra adya yatha tantre gnataha sulabha muktir bhuktir yagnadi punyataha sevyam sadhana sahasrer hari bhakti su durlabha. The translation, liberation is easily attained by gnana, and material enjoyment is easily attained by punya, by karmis, that is, such as sacrifice, after attaining dedication to these goals by thousands of attempts. But bhava bhakti to the Lord cannot be attained if one practices thousands of different sadhanas, because asakti will not appear. So you see, devotional service is so rare, right? And what are these 2 shlokas indicating? We cannot achieve it because we don't have that asakti or that taste, right? And Krishna doesn't award it, because if he awards pure devotional service, then he becomes like a puppet in the hands of the devotee, like Yashoda and gopis. And he's dancing to their tunes, right? To pure devotees. So he doesn't give it. We cannot achieve it by our sadhana. Then what? Yeah, we can get bhakti, devotional service or bhakti from who already have it. That is the pure devotees, like our Guru Parampara, like exalted devotees. They can give us. That's how Srila Prabhupada always says we have to approach Srimati Radharani, because she is the topmost devotee. And then what devotional service do we do? I mean, it's all it is filled with anarthas. It is filled with offenses. But somebody like Srimati Radharani, she's so merciful. If we approach Srimati Radharani, she says, here is one devotee, Krishna. This devotee is a much better devotee than me. That's what Srimati Radharani, that's how he recommends Srila Prabhupada. That's what Srila Prabhupada tells us in various of his lectures. So, so we go through Nityananda Prabhu, Srimati Radharani, Srila Prabhupada, then much, our Guru and the Vaishnavas that we serve. So what do? They recommend us to Krishna and saying, please accept their service. Right? So we cannot achieve it and Krishna will not award it. So Vaishnava Seva becomes so important here, because they are the ones who are going to give us this aspect of Sudurlabha, the most elusive of all the devotional service to us, right? So that we will go to the last shloka of today's session, shloka 22.
Barnali Mataji, you can read the shloka, and Sumangala Mataji can read the translation.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams. Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare
Shri Shuka Vacha Iti Samabhito Mahabhagavato Bhagavatas Tribhuvana Gurur Anusasanam Atmano Laghuta Yavanata Shirodhara Badhameti Sabahu Manam Uvaha. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
Pranams, Mataji.
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Sukadeva Goswami continued, after thus being fully instructed by Lord Brahma, who is the spiritual master of the three worlds, Priyavrata, his own position being inferior, offered obeisances, accepted the order and carried it out with great respect. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So you see here, Brahma, by ordering Priyavrat Maharaj, is teaching us. What is he teaching us? He's teaching us to, the actual intent of our devotional service is to please Krishna. The way, the marga or the path can be anything. One can be anything, but the goal is to please Krishna, right? So it says Priyavrata, who being a Mahabhagavat, right? Your order I shall carry out. Even though immediately he says I shall carry. And also, if we don't follow the Shastra, then we'll have to face the Shastra, the weapon. What is it called? Shastra. Shastra, if we don't follow, then Krishna will make us follow. So we choose what we want to follow, the Shastra or Shastra. Either ways we have to follow. Right? So I want to read one quote from His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Damodar Swami. Before that, Priyavat Maharaj is following the orders of his spiritual master, that is Brahma. So what does it mean to follow the orders of spiritual master? His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Damodar Swami, I just came across his quote. If you, he says, he's referring to each of us, want to destroy yourself, disobey the orders of your bona fide spiritual master. If you want to save yourself, keep the instructions of the spiritual master very, very close to your heart. This will make you get physical protection, mental protection, mystical protection, Maharaj says, and spiritual protection. That is the lesson we get from pure devotees, right? So that is the lesson here Priyavrat Maharaj is exhibiting. that by following the orders of Brahma, right? And then we also see from Arjuna, what did he say? Karishye vachanam tava. He says, Nashta moha smritir labdha. He says, I remember what I have to do. So he says, I will karishye vachanam tava. And we can see, another one or two examples of how Anushasanam is the word Srila Prabhupada talks here, following the order, right? Anushasanam. Like if we see the example of how when the Pandavayas, who are the Pandavayas, the Upa Pandavas who were killed by Ashwathama, right? And then Arjuna wanted to kill, Krishna orders Arjuna to kill Ashwathama because he had taken a vow to, he has given a vow to Draupadi that he will kill Ashwathama for killing the sons of Draupadi. And then in the scene, if we remember, very beautifully, Srila Prabhupada in those purports, Krishna is telling Ashwathama, kill. Draupadi is saying, don't kill. And our Yudhishthira Maharaj never wants to kill anybody, let alone Guru's son, a Brahmana, a Dvijabandhu. And, some similar type of scenario. So Arjuna, Krishna is testing Arjuna, and Arjuna passes the test. He kills him and doesn't kill him. Like Achintya Veda, Veda Tattva. Removes the, it removes the money and then shaves off his head, which is a very shameful thing for a Brahmana. So it is, worse than death, right? So similarly here, all these examples of Arjuna, Priyavrata, what is it telling us? That we have to please Krishna, right? Please Krishna. Like even if we take the example of gopis, they walked out of their houses in the middle of night. On the material aspect, it looks like a very asabhya, not correct thing to do. But then to please Krishna, that is a very exalted position, extreme example. But then what we have to understand from the gopis' pastime is that to please Krishna. Not only that they walked away in the middle of the night from their homes, leaving their husbands and children. They were also ready to go to hell, that headache pastime. And Krishna says, I have a headache and I want the dust of the dust from the devotee's feet. Nobody is ready to give. Nobody is ready to give. But gopis said, then Narada asked them, you will go to hell. He said, that's not an issue. Whether we go to hell or heaven, that is not the question. Krishna has to be happy. Krishna has to be pleased. So, and among the 26 qualities of a Vaishnava, one Vaishnava quality is being non-defiant. What does it mean to be non-defiant? Anything we are asked to follow, our ego is not so easily not allow us to accept it. Our egos are so strong that it will not, and especially if it is, something not in tune with what I think is okay, what I think is right. So here we see that quality of being non-defined. That means just obeying the orders of the spiritual master, right? So here in this episode, Priyavrat Maharaj is showing us that pleasing Krishna is the topmost aspect of being a devotee. how we are pleasing Krishna as a grihastha, as a vanaprasthi, as a king, as a renunciate, as a whatever it is, but the aspect is to please Krishna, right? So, in quick gist, in today's class, Brahma is coming and is explaining to Priyavat Maharaj that becoming a king, becoming a grihastha and a king is more important than his being a renunciate. Why? Because that is what is pleasing Krishna, or pleasing even Brahma wanted him to become the king. Otherwise, the kingdom would be, it would not be protected without a ruler. So that is the main aspect of this episode. So we can keep this in mind. Rules have to be followed, but if there are at times, when we are following some rules as per the Vedic rituals or as per what we have been listening to our elders, but in Krishna consciousness, there are some times which may look we are not following the rules as per the Vedas or the scriptures. It may seem like that. But Krishna says, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhava Arjuna. He says in second chapter, you have to get above the Vedic rituals also. That is what is devotional service. That is what it means to please Krishna. Okay. So with that, I really thank each one of you for all your prayers and blessings for me to do this seva, because without which I wouldn't be able to sit here and talk of such high aspects of devotional service. And I take it up only to purify myself, as a purification for myself, and I seek all your prayers and blessings to keep the seva in the right mood and the right spirit. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for giving us your association. Mataji, do you have time for questions?
Yeah, yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Devotees, any questions, feedback?
Hare
Yes,
Krishna
Shobita
Mataji.
Mataji. Sumangala Mataji, can Shobita Mataji go first?
Sure, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Shobita Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Mataji, thank you so much for the wonderful class, so many realizations. But one Mataji confusion whenever we are told that our final goal is Krishna, but then all are the parts and parcels. So at least I am not on the level that I will take everyone along with me and I can do my grhastha duties as well as remember Krishna all the time. That is not possible still, Mataji. So I get sometimes very, very confused, like if I'm doing my extra rounds, Ekadashi, mostly we are doing extra rounds. But then something comes up in the home, someone is sick, or maybe someone wants urgently to do this work, do that work. And so most of the times I have to leave my japa and get. So what should I do that time, Mataji? Because it's really difficult with everyone at home, working from home and all that, to adjust the things. So how should we prioritize?
A week or two back, I forget who had come to the temple. And very, very wonderfully, the speaker was saying, I think it was one of the Srila Prabhupada's disciple. He very wonderfully started the lecture saying, people often come and ask him, he was not a Maharaj, he was a Grihastha, so I'm unfortunately not remembering the name. He says, people come and ask me how to balance material and spiritual life. So he's saying, what do you mean by balance? You're trying to balance if you're trying to segregate both of them. Okay. So I think this itself should answer your question. Taking care of somebody who is in need, and which is your duty, right? It can be your elderly at home, children, yourself also, right? So, I mean, if we have already done our prescribed rounds, 16 rounds, what makes us think that aspect of seva is less than chanting? If we are serving that person in the right spirit, in the right mood, then that is as good as chanting, because you are doing a seva for another part and parcel of the Lord, right? And in fact, if we neglect that duty and try to chant, our chanting will only think, I mean, at least I should have done that, Hare Krishna, I should have served. So what is better? To serve, even then chant, no? Is it that you are doing extra rounds only with the beats? If your mind is chanting when you're serving that person, then chanting is also done and serving is also done, isn't it?
Mataji, it means that I should chant in my mind that time and serve as well. That is the meaning of with the right mood.
Yeah, because when I'm serving, suppose, I'm not isolating you, all of us, especially women, Matajis. Yeah, yesterday also there was one class, I was telling the Matajis, something very similar question one Mataji asked. So I said, when the Mataji's group that I was handling yesterday were all elderly Matajis whose children are all married, and then probably they have daughter-in-laws. More so, I was in that perspective. When I expect the daughter-in-law or somebody to take care of me, I want them to do it with a smile for me. But then when it is my turn to do, then I'm grumbling. I have to do, अरे ऐसे कैसे हो गया? One rule for me, one rule for other. समझ में आया? Did you understand? So you see, if I'm in that position, whatever position, that means it is my doing, my purvarjita, previous previous life, whatever, blah blah. And then I am in that position because of myself. And then I'm grumbling to do that thing. Then you think Krishna will be happy.
Right, Mataji.
Right.
Very right.
So there are many ways. You can listen to a lecture, do that seva. Try to memorize some shloka if you want to try to remember. All that is difficult, chant, na. You are doing the best service for that person by giving the holy name. Okay, loudly, there might be some people who might not like it. Chant in the mind. The Paramatma will understand what you're doing, and that Paramatma in that person's heart the chanting will reach that person also. Okay, Hare Krishna. I don't know if I answered your question.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you.
Sumangala Mataji,
Hare
please.
Krishna, Mataji. Yes, Mataji, thank you so much. Mataji, wonderful, wonderful class, Mataji. We are so indebted to you, Mataji. The wonderful words and teachings of all the Maharajas that you shared. Very helpful, Mataji. The last purport, especially the translation, like Priyamvrata, though he was not at all, it's just a reflection, Mataji, I would like to share. Priyamvrata Maharaj was, he was not at all interested to, in the Grihastha life. But even then, where he could understand by the, Brahmaji, he finally agrees to take the Grihastha life. So in that way, we are all, Mataji, hankering for devotee association, to go to the temple and get some seva out there. But one thing what I realized is that Krishna has placed each one of us in the perfect place where we are right now. So we can please wherever we are today, the Lord, Supreme Lord. Because as you said, Mataji, for the last shloka you mentioned that as gopis, because all are creations of the Lord. So he has created so many gopis. So each can give different kinds of pleasures to the Lord wherever they are. So a gopi can, it's not the same way like how Gopi serves and how Mother Yashoda serves. So sitting in the same place, whatever has been given to us, like husband, daughters, and everything, we can use them in the service of the Lord. Pray sincerely for them. And Mataji, to be frank, Mataji, I do not get as a householder more than 16 rounds of chanting. I cannot do, Mataji. So I have never, by God's grace, I have never felt, I mean, oh, I could not do more rounds. I have never done that, Mataji. So just for to please the gurus, and I have done my part. That's all. And I beg at their lotus feet and saying that I am not able to do more rounds to please you. Instead, learn to serve these people around me so that they can come one step closer to you, to Krishna. So that in that, please help me. So this kind of prayer I just do, Mataji. So I just wanted to share this, Mataji. And
Very
thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
And I
Krishna.
just wanted to know, Mataji, one, not a question, Mataji, like just that when you said that the devotional service will remove our anarthas. So and also that shloka, yat karoshi yadashnasi. That is like whatever we do, yat karoshi yadashnasi, do it as an offering to the Lord. So is there a difference between those two in the in terms of purifying our anarthas? I just wanted to know, Mataji. Is there a difference actually? Like devotional
Between
service
what?
will, the
What?
devotional service will remove our anarthas.
Hmm.
But when we do anything like et karoshi, when we think of that shloka, et karoshi yadashnasi, like for an example, we want to eat an ice cream, so I am longing to eat an ice cream. So Mataji, in my case, Mataji, as because I still have a longing to eat ice creams or something like that. So when I eat that, I just say, Krishna, I am not able to control, please help me. So in that way, if I do that, will that have the same effect of the devotional service? Like, I just wanted to know, Mataji.
I
Or
will
is it different?
I will quote Srila Prabhupada in this. Okay, when many years ago, first time I read this, I was taken aback. But then, because Srila Prabhupada started preaching in the West. Okay, this is Srila Prabhupada's words. Okay, in one of the lectures, Prabhupada says, okay, if that person is drinking wine, let him think of Krishna, because Krishna says, Rasoham, I am the taste in water. So, and further, Prabhupada says, because he's thinking of Krishna and drinking wine, eventually he will give up the wine. Okay? So, if wine can be given up, then why not ice cream? So, all glories to Prabhupada.
So Krishna is important. Remembrance of the Lord is more important.
So that's what now we make a big list. I have to do this, I have to do that. No, don't make any list. Only one list. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Actually, we should not be in that mood. I have to chant because my anarthas have to go. No, you don't. No. Just do. That is Krishna's duty. That's Krishna's part. Let him do what he has to do. Let's not get into all that. Stick to what we have to do. Okay.
Yes, Mataji. Mataji, and also you said that Krishna instructed Ashwatthama to kill, Arjuna to kill Ashwatthama. And and Arjuna was so clever, Mataji. Unlike Arjuna, we are not so clever, Mataji. Like the direct instruction was that to kill Ashwatthama. But instead, Arjuna, being the pure devotee of the Lord, he could understand Krishna's mind and heart and act accordingly. So we are not on that, Mataji. So it is very difficult now.
No, see, it is not. Yes, of course, we are definitely not in the level of Arjuna or any example. Let me speak about myself. Yeah, I'm not. But then, actually, if you read those purports, especially in the first canto about how Parikshit Maharaj, there, Prabhupada insists on how Krishna gives the intelligence from within. Right? I'm the ability in man, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So that ability to act as per dharma and to the situation is given by Krishna. So So if we surrender, then tamam. That is what dadami buddhi yogam. Yena mam upayanti te. So why will he give a buddhi to do something adharmic? Whether it's Arjuna or whether it is us practicing devotees or trying to be devotees. No? He will give that buddhi, dadari buddhi.
Thank you, Mataji. What for the wonderful class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, in shloka number 18, when you were talking about shloka number 18, you said something, Mataji, when we are leaving our body, are we thinking about Krishna or are we thinking about the person whom we desire to get Krishna consciousness? Mataji, you gave Krishna gave a warning to you because I don't know, somehow, how much ever we study, I'm not this body, I'm the soul, every soul has its journey. Still, that thing is there, let this person somehow. But it's a warning, Mataji. Krishna spoke through you. I think it was for me.
No, because...
it was. I just felt it is for me because a few weeks ago I was trying to coax someone to follow Ekadashi, and I was saying, okay, I'll make this, I'll make that, but somehow I couldn't get the person to follow Ekadashi. But that statement came as a warning. Thank you for that, Mataji.
Yeah, because we get so attached to the results. You wanted that person to do. You see, we must understand that Krishna has to be in tune with what is that person's desire. That independence he cannot take off, right? So we have to understand that aspect also. Yeah, it is my desire. It's a good desire only, spiritual desire only. But that minute independence, he will not take away of that person also. And there again, we are becoming result oriented. I told him, so it is good, him or her, it is good. Okay, all done, fine. But I was like that some time ago. Then Krishna waited for me to come till here. Then how can I be so impatient about somebody not coming? More so, if I have to say, it's not your this thing, especially about our children, we keep praying, Krishna, let him become Krishna conscious. Then, that warning, I'm thinking more about my son than Krishna. So let's stop there. Yeah.
Krishnamurti Prabhuji, please, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu,
Mataji. Relating to the Rohini Mataji's question, I am thinking, yesterday in my street, one person has passed away. Right from passing away, right, 4 members have came bringing band sets to band. Right from morning to night, they have banded like anything. And then after entire night, they have put a speaker. So loudspeaker, you believe it or not, I have not slept. I have not yet slept. By 3:30, automatically I got wake up. So even now, body has not yet lifted. Early morning, morning itself they were banding. So really, you believe it or not, I closed my windows, doors, everything. By keeping earbuds, I'm hearing the class. Though I am thinking about this, Mataji. Particularly by hearing Bhagavatam and all those things, while any person passed away, you used to recite Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita or Vishnu Sahasranama or this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So what is the culture of this, Mataji? I am thinking, so how the Supreme Personality of God it is influencing the people?
Ignorance. They're so attached to the body, no? They think the body. So, see, whether the person is dead or alive, if we are decorating like a dead body, is what scripture says. If we are overtly taking care of our body and then this thing, it is like, saying decorating a dead body. Alive or dead, irrespective, if we are just to the as long as the soul is there in the body, and the body is a medium to achieve our goal, Krishna prema, to achieve our goal, we have to use the body. But then if we are only concentrating on the body, even when the body is alive, then then that is what the scripture says. So it is ignorance now. It is total ignorance. I mean, we should feel sad for them. So even now, like if you can chant, read something for the soul, it will still reach because it is transcendental. You don't have to be there. You can dedicate something to that soul because you're the neighbor. So it is ignorance, Prabhu. It is just ignorance.
I myself think, so what the fate of this current thing, people, how they are behaving. So really you believe it that I recalled Bhagavatam slokas. So yes.
No, rather than, one is, yes, compassion starts from there. You feel like that. You can genuinely dedicate, Prabhu, read something, chant one round, and dedicate to that soul. That is what is a devotee all about. We don't have to know about a person. We don't have to know. We don't have to go there. Your neighbor there. You can dedicate. You can dedicate.
We can't able to talk with them, Mataji. We can't able to talk. So
That's
in
what-
between, we used to fire the crackers also. So it is not. It is a big event right from yesterday to still now I am suffering. Thank you, Mataji. Thing is, the awareness has come to me. So how to be a devotee in that situation? I am thinking about that, Mataji. So thank you.
So by chanting for them, that is their first step. That is the responsibility of us devotees.
Okay, Mataji. Okay, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. I will do that. Even now I can do, Mataji. I will do. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandavad pranams, Mataji.
Yeah, I think we are done.
Thank you, Mataji. Wonderful session. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for giving us your association, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhya
कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च
पतितानां
पतितानां
पावनेभ्यो
पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
नमः
नमः
श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय श्रीला
जय
प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत
जय
कोटि
प्रभुपाद
वैष्णव वृंद की जय
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Mataji.
हरे कृष्णा
Hare
थैंक
Krishna.
यू
Hare
माताजी
Krishna, Dandavad pranams, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavad pranams.
Hare Krishna.